Thanks to the support as a channel member, Russ Eddy. Well, it may have only taken us 3 years to make it back up as high as the Championship from the National League, but certainly justification for the original punishment, because this is a very different Manchester City squad to the one that would have been playing if we'd have just started in the Championship. We're one of the favourites for relegation. We've not been able to spend very much at all, despite the transfer embargo being over. And I think we've probably got a very tough season ahead of us. We're about to find out just how tough. Welcome to part 20 of Saving Man City. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have our first 2 games in the Championship. We're away against Swansea, and we're at home against Ipswich. We'll also have that Wickham game off camera as well for a little bit of extra context. If you missed the transfer window yesterday, you should go back and watch it. The transfer embargo has ended. We've actually done some transfers. We even spent some money on a player as well, and we've got some exciting young players who've joined us on loan. We're going to fail FFP this season too, so that will bring a transfer embargo. So we're doing all our transfers now for the next 2 years because the projection is terrifying. That is the worst that has ever been, that end of season projection. That's genuinely terrifying. And no, I mean, we could potentially have a transfer embargo and administration and a points deduction in our future. And when it's touch and go whether or not we're going to stay in the league anyway, a points deduction would be disastrous. It'll be fine. Let's go win a football match. We're going with Trafford in goal, a back four of Flynn and Betty, Charles and new boy Ferguson at right back. Another new boy in the shape of John Joe Shelby at the base of the midfield, with a third new boy, Forner, our big, tough tackling, big, strong central midfielder, alongside Kane Taylor, who's back with us on loan for another year. Ricky J. Jones, one of our loan signings, is starting on the left-hand side with new permanent attacker Musaba on the right. And Will Dixon gets the nod to play up front today. But we have 3 very good young centre-forwards, or attackers, I guess. Any of them can play anywhere across the front 3. That was deliberate so that we could mix and match as needed. But Will Dixon, he was good for us last year, but never really had to play up front. He kind of made the right wing his position. He gets an opportunity now. And if he doesn't take it, those kids are ready to come on sooner rather than later. Musaba, though, what a way to announce his arrival in England, his arrival in the Championship and at Manchester City. Less than 5 minutes on the clock, and Anthony Musaba has scored a wonder goal. The throw comes in from Flynn. Taylor plays it across to Musaba. I mean, he's got plenty of space. I say it's a wonder goal. It's a lovely pass from Taylor. Great positioning from Musaba, who's drifted in from the right-hand side and then just sticks it into that far top corner. It's a lovely goal from him. And that's one of the new attackers announcing themselves in style. There's John Joe Shelby. That's exactly what we brought him in to do. Just offer a little bit of calm in front of this back four, a little bit of calm, a little bit of experience. It's a squad full of players who are in their early 20s. John Joe Shelby offers us that bit of experience. And of course, that excellent long-range passing that he's just demonstrated to fantastic effect there to play the ball over the top to Kane Taylor. And I tell you what, boys and girls, I was not expecting this first day of the season. We're 2-0 up after just over 10 minutes. And this is great from Shelby. What a pass from him. And Kane Taylor has been involved in both goals. He looks like he is very much up for life in the Championship. 2-0 to Manchester City. We're going back to the Premier League, boys and girls. And now you're going to believe us. Shane Flynn coming down the left-hand side. Look at the size of Forner, by the way, who we brought in just to be a big physical presence in midfield. And he very much is. But it's now Swansea with a counter-attack. Shea Charles gets the tackle in, but it looks like he's given away a penalty in the process. I thought it was a good tackle. Referee less impressed. And Trafford with his first test as a Championship goalkeeper. And I mean, I'm going to say he passed it. He intimidated their player into hitting the crossbar. It remains 2-0. We've got away with one there. We're top of the Championship as things stand. Don't read too much into the XG for this match. Our XG is 0.5 and we've scored 2 goals. I think we've just had a very fortuitous start to the match so far. Flynn with the in-swinger, looking for the far post where Charles is. that he can't get a proper header on it. But Masaba, who we've already seen score one great goal, plays it into Fauna. And I said we needed a big boy. There is our big boy. And that is another debut goal. And he's doing a little big boy dance. Lovely work from Fauna. It's 3-0 up. And I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. I mean, a lot of this is probably the impact of not being able to do loads of transfers. So we've got a team who are in good form. We got promoted last year thanks to fantastic form in the second half of the season. We're riding that form and momentum into this first match. But to be 3-0 up away from home is very unexpected. I need to check to see where Swansea were last year and try and get my head around how we're absolutely dominating them. We've given away another penalty here. Ferguson has now given away a penalty on his debut, and it's Swansea versus Trafford. Once again, is James Trafford going to intimidate them into another penalty miss? He is not, and there is a goal back for Swansea. It was a very tame penalty as well. I mean, if Trafford had been alert to what was going on, I feel like he probably could have got there. I mean, I guess it's well placed. There was no pace to it at all. And that lets Swansea back in. They've had 2 penalties in this match, but we've scored 3 goals, and that's all that really matters. Our central midfield 3 have been absolutely fantastic. It's where we've made the most significant changes against last year. Obviously, we've brought in a lot of attackers, but they're not all on the pitch, whereas that central midfield is all new. Obviously, Taylor was here previously, but it's all new, designed with a purpose, and seems to be working at the moment. It's where we spent our money. It's where we've gone for both our big money signing at £250,000 and our experience in the shape of Shelvey. And it definitely seems to be working in there currently. The question, of course, is going to be how many games can John Joe Shelvey play this season? Because we don't have anyone else at the club who can really do that role for us. Jones then plays it into Taylor. Now Dixon, it's Ricky J. Jones through on goal, and it's straight at the goalkeeper, unfortunately. He played a full season at this level last year and only scored 2 goals. So I'm not expecting loads of goals from Jones, but he is very fast and very lively, as is Masaba on this right-hand side. He's got in again, once again testing the goalkeeper, and we've got ourselves another corner. Masaba looking like a fantastic pickup. He's the highest paid player at the club on £20,000 a week, and he seems to be justifying it so far. Shelvey with the corner, but it's headed clear, and now it's with Kane Taylor, who, as mentioned, has had an absolutely fantastic game for us today. One of several who've played very, very well on this first day of the season for us. Shelvey getting in there with the interception. Now Dixon plays Masaba in. That's great work from Dixon. Masaba, has he got the legs to keep on running? I mean, he's let the guy catch up with him, but in the process has won a penalty. I mean, he was absolutely looking for it. He looked shattered, but I don't care how he's gone about winning it. This referee just loves giving a penalty, and it's going to be Shane Flynn to score from the spot. It's a lovely penalty from him. That is how you score a penalty. If anyone from Swansea is watching, that's how you hit a penalty kick. 4-1 now away from home on the first day of the season. And Manchester City are back, boys and girls. Look at us go. 4-1 up. I've said it and I'll keep saying it. I wasn't expecting this at all. I thought we were going to get battered. The media seem to think we are rubbish. It looks like the players have certainly got other ideas. Right, let's have a look at some of these young attackers that we've brought in. We're going to put Dixon out onto the left-hand side, and we're going to bring Samuel Ibrahim on to play up front. And what else are we going to do? Shea Charles is carrying a yellow card, so let's bring Katongo on for him. And Shane Flynn is tiring as well, so Wilson Esbrand can come on for him. So first look at Samuel Ibrahim, who I think is the lad who's in on loan from Arsenal for the season. So we've also got Lambert and Betrancourt who can play in these attacking roles as well. But Ibrahim's the one who is going to get first opportunity to show us what he can offer. And it's Swansea on the attack. We've obviously made a few changes to our back 4, and we don't want to let them in. James Trafford, look at that turn, going full sweeper keeper. And that's a misplaced pass from Shelvey. That is not what we're looking for from him. But Katongo is there to clean up the mess. And it remains 4-1. Ferguson looks like he's tiring at right back. I don't think we have anyone else who can come on and play right back. Probably not at the club now we've let Wright Phillips leave. Fauna is also tired. So he is going to come off for O'Reilly. This is where we struggle. We don't really have anyone else who can do that role Forner's doing. We don't have anyone else who can do the role Shelvey's doing. And we don't have a backup right back. So there is definitely still work to do in this squad. For now, we're going to take off Dixon and we're going to bring on Betrancourt. And we are going to swap those two around like that and have a look to see how Betrancourt gets on that right-hand side. And I need to go and find a right back and a couple of extra midfield players out with the £20,000 a week or so we've got left in our wage budget. It'll be fine. 4-1 away from home on the first day of the season. What, Swansea? What are you thinking? What did you do last year? Swansea finished 19th last year, so they were one of the worst teams in the league. The media think that they are going to, where are we? So the media have got them finishing mid-table. So you know what? Take nothing away from it. Good performance. More of that, please. And we'll survive in the Championship this year. But it was a slightly harder task to get past Wickham of League One in the first round of the Moose Cup. Took a 95th minute Ricky J. Jones winner to get past them. To be fair, it was a team of second string players and players returning from injury. Hamilton and Fiorini are both looking for match fitness, as was Ibrahim. And the rest of these are largely backup players. So no reason to be worried there. Ipswich, where were they last season? Ipswich last year finished mid-table in the Championship. So another test for us today. And this is the team. Trafford in goal, a back four once again of Flynn, Mbete, Charles and Ferguson. Shelvey, Forner and Taylor in midfield. I think that is all exactly the same as in the first match. And then Jones on the left, Masaba on the right. And this time we're going to try Betrancourt, who is the one we've not looked at yet. Although, to be fair, we've also not looked at Santo Lambert, who's still not recovered from his pre-season injury. But this is Betrancourt's first opportunity to play up front. We played Ibrahim for a full 90 against Wickham, so he's had some game time under his belt and didn't score, which is why Betrancourt gets the nod in this one. And fingers crossed he looks as lively as Masaba did in that first match, because if we can get a lively, fast, energetic front three on the go with this solid back four and the hard-working midfield that we've got, I think we've got a really good chance this season. There's John Joe Shelvey once again just doing what he's there to do, sitting at the base of the midfield, keeping things tidy, and Forner plays it forward to Taylor. And now Jones, ball over the top, looking for Betrancourt, who gets in behind. Can he find the finish? He can, but he's offside. But less than a minute on the clock, and Betrancourt has the goal and has the ball in the back of the net, which, I mean, that's promising. Look how far over Masaba goes. He's not playing as an inside forward or an inverted winger or anything. He's on a winger instruction, but we saw when he got the goal in the first match that he was over on the left-hand side, and he's come all the way over to meet a throw-in on that side as well. He's, I mean, he doesn't seem to pay much attention to the position he's being told to play in, which is fine when it's going well for him. Less fine is the fact Ipswich have now scored. Are we about to get a reality check after how excellent we were in that first match? Like I say, we did labour a little bit against Wickham, and that's not the best start we could have had to this game against Ipswich. They're doing the flat back seven that we hate coming up against as well, especially when we're trying to work out what our best front three is. You don't want three attackers, or four, I guess, because Kane Taylor gets very involved, but you don't want your four attackers having to come up against six defenders, because it's quite hard to break down. Forner, that's what he's there for. I love that man already. That's why I was willing to spend money on him. He is brilliant. Just gets in there, gets his tackles in. A big, strong boy, and it's exactly what we looked for in that box-to-box midfielder. And now Flynn on the left-hand side to Mbete, and now Flynn again. Flynn playing it back to Mbete again. And now Shelvey, can he ping one over the top? He doesn't turn, plays it across to Shea Charles, and now Forner, and now Shelvey's facing the right way and does ping one over the top for Ricky J. Jones, who's got room to find the cross, but instead plays it into the path of Taylor, who crosses, and there's Masaba, and that's his second goal for us already. He looks like an incredible signing. Anthony Masaba is the new hero of Manchester City, and that is, I mean, it's good work from everyone involved there, really. Jones does well, plays it into Taylor, who has been fantastic opening things up for us this season. And it's 1-1. And I'm going to get Masaba on the back of my shirt, I think. He's my new hero. Right, 1-1. Let's go on and win this game. If we can get 2 wins in this first couple of matches, that'd be super duper when it comes to us trying to avoid relegation, which, remember, is what the board are looking for us to do. Jones, that time, poor pass from him. Could have probably gone round his man. The pace that he's got, just kick it past him and run. Fauna using his size again, but this time can't direct his header towards Masaba, who'd gone walkabouts again, but that's good work from Ferguson. What a difference having a real right back's going to make for us this season. And Ferguson charging down the right, cross comes into Jones, and his header can't stay under the crossbar. He's already scored once. He only got 2 goals in the whole of last season. So if he grabs a second goal today, Ricky J. Jones is clearly made for Manchester City. Right, Flynn has picked up an injury. We'll just do that change. Wilson Esbrand is sat there on the bench, ready and willing to come on, so he can just swap straight in for him. We don't want to be disrupting this back four too much with players carrying injuries. Ipswich had 1 shot in that first half and scored it. Otherwise, it's been all us, and now Betrancourt, on his debut, has picked up an injury as well. That is not ideal. Ibrahim comes on, but that's 2 changes we've had to make before half-time because of injury, which means we only get 1 more stoppage in the match. So our next change is going to be a triple substitution, and hopefully that's not too bad of an injury for Betrancourt, because we still haven't figured out who our striker is going to be. It's an opportunity here for Ibrahim. It might end up being Lambert, who will get game time before you meet us next, because he is close to being recovered from his injury. Shelvey back to Charles, and now Ferguson on the right again. Just kind of runs into his man, turns around, plays it back to Charles. Everyone wants to get the ball to Shelvey because they know he can do that. And Jones is in behind. And Ricky J. Jones does have his second goal of the season. These 2 wide men, we might not have figured out the centre forward yet, but Jones and Masaba look like they are going to be real difference makers as part of this Manchester City team. Who needs a striker? We're just going to have these wide players ripping teams apart. It's all about the wingers round here. It's Manchester City 2, Ipswich 1. It's Ricky J. Jones and Anthony Masaba. They're my 2 best friends. And Mbete now playing it to Charles. And now Fauna, I forgot he's one of my best friends as well. Taylor looking up to try and find the pass to get Jones in, and he does. And Jones can't get past his man. I thought they'd played it into the path of Ibrahim there. If we could get a goal for Ibrahim now, then I would be feeling really rather good about the way this attack is starting to take shape. We already knew what the defence in the midfield were all about, but look at the pace of Jones again. He causes so many problems because he's so fast. I've had him in so many saves in Football Manager over the years. I'm sure you have too if you've ever played in the lower leagues of England, but he is just so quick and defenders can't handle it. And we've got a counter-attack on again here. It's 3 against 2. And we release Ibrahim. He controls it beautifully. And there is the goal. Oh, yes. This is more like it. The entire front 3 have scored. That was a clinical counter-attack as well. I actually thought that we'd played it to the wrong man. Taylor should have probably released Jones, who was in acres of space. Decides to go for Ibrahim, who controls it perfectly. That first touch just completely takes the defender out of it. And then the shot goes past the goalkeeper to make it 3-1. And this front 3, this is your answer. These are the boys. Who needs all those strikers that have come before? We've got the best front 3 in the history of Manchester City playing for us right now. Who needs Erling Haaland? We've got Ricky J. Jones. 3-1 now. And I guess we are approaching that triple substitution that we're going to need to make. We'll perhaps leave things a little bit longer. Do it with about 15 minutes to go. Just to allow for any further injuries to develop. Taylor to Charles, and now Fauna in space, gets to turn, plays Masaba in, and I thought he was going to stick it in the top corner. He's been a little bit quiet in this second half, while the other 2 have had a chance to shine. But the whole front 3 and the midfield 3, I tell you what, this is a really good team we've put together here. On a very limited budget, we've put together a very solid football team. We're not in danger of getting relegated. Can we push for those playoffs? Right, let's get this triple substitution made. We are going to bring on Fiorini and Hamilton in midfield just to get some game time into those 2, because they've been such key players for us over the last couple of years. Both unfortunate to get knocks in pre-season, but we need to get some game time into them. That midfield three that we've played these first couple of matches is going to take some displacing, but if anyone can displace them, it's those two boys who've been so very good for so very long. Trafford, comfortable making his save as well. Look at the match stats. We've dominated this. And Shelby has shown no signs of struggling for fitness just yet, which is perfect. He's only on a 12-month contract. He's 33 years old, but he's done 2 full 90s. We probably need to manage that a little bit as the season goes on. But as it stands at the moment, he looks like he's still very much got an engine on him. And there's the cross from Mbete, and it's straight into the hands of the Ipswich goalkeeper. We're at 3-1 up. As time is ticking away in this match, I think we're going to end our first episode in the Championship top of the league. Manchester City are on their way back to the Premier League, boys and girls, and nobody can stop us, apart from the administrators who are always looming. But let's not worry about them. Today is a happy occasion, and that is a beautiful thing to see. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.